Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Hakuoki Kyoto wins in Hijikata's route at middle of chapter 3, maybe? I'm not sure, but anyway, we're somewhere in chapter 3, and we just witnessed the physicals, and now we're talking to Dr. Masumoto. So Yamazaki was kind enough to get him for us. So anyway, Dr. Masumoto. Ah, doctor. Hello, Yukamura. I can't do voices right now. It's the first time I'm speaking today, so pardon me. I'm also broken. I think all the voices have broken me. Like, I say this enough, but it's true. There's gonna be a point where I'm like, I just completely can't speak. I'm gonna be mute. Which will make probably most people very happy around me. But anyway. Oh, hi, Kondo. Oh, I see you found her already. Yes, thanks to you. They sound the same. Whatever. I can't. What? I was utterly lost. Dr. Masumoto laid a gentle hand on my shoulder. Spacey, I came here to see you. Okay, we're going to try to change his voice a little. Kondo told me that Koto's daughter was staying with the Shinsengumi. Oh, I see. Like, Kondo, you're actually fucking smart. He's like, Hijikata told me to do it. Not surprised. Oh, I knew Koto and Masumoto were acquaintances, so I thought perhaps Masumoto might be able to give us a clue as to his friend's whereabouts. I looked him up as soon as he returned to Kyoto. I can't do his voice right now. The Shinsengumi had their own reasons for wanting my father found, but Dr. Masumoto's appearance was still cause for joy. Thank you, both of you. They smiled. Dr. Masumoto then explained he had just barely missed me when he left for Ito as I came to Kyoto. He had received all my letters, but once he finally returned, he had no idea where I was, and consequently couldn't find me. I'm sorry that I missed you. You must have had a rough time of it. Nah, it's been pretty swell here. Anyway, is there anything you need? No, I'm doing all right. So, Dr. Masumoto, about my father. His face took on a grim cast, and before he even spoke, I knew what his response would be. Unfortunately, I know no more about where Koto might be than you do. I see. The defeated tone of my voice surprised me. I suppose on some level I believe Dr. Masumoto had some miraculous revelation about my father. Foolish of me, of course, but that didn't make the truth any less devastating. Kondo simply nodded. I hear you've become involved with the treatment. You've become involved with Hijikata? Yes, all of them, pretty much. Slowly becoming involved with Hijikata, but all of them? Yeah, oh, that's not what you were gonna... Never mind. What? No, I'm not sleeping with all of them. I mean, we're not, because it's not that kind of game, but... You know what I mean, don't you? Koto's experiments. Yes, I knew what he meant. The experiments my father conducted with some strange concoction that could make people go mad. Please, tell me about it. I want to know everything my father was doing. He nodded. Koto was working with the Shinsengumi under orders from the Shogun to create what were called Furies. The Furies are humans with high demonic strength and speed and phenomenal healing abilities. Furies. This term seemed so familiar. Then I realized I'd overheard some of the men talking about it. Don't jinx him, Soji. It's gonna look bad if other officers start joining the Furies. I can't, whatever. Fuck my life. How? So Furies come from something you drink, where any injuries could be cured. The Furies that Heisuke spoke about are meant to be pitied. The substance that transforms normal men into these Furies is called the Water of Life. In China, they call it Senton. Senton? In short, it grants immortality. Furies. Water of Life. It sounded more like something from a fairy tale rather than real life. But there was something in Dr. Masumoto's tone of voice that said he was telling the truth. I've already heard about how it makes you strong and hard to kill, but doesn't it cause so much pain that it makes most people go crazy? And even if you survive that, then even the smell of blood can make you go crazy again. Dr. Masumoto nodded slowly, then pinched the bridge of his nose with thumb and forefinger. He looked very tired. So, you know about that too? Yes. They were human, but not human. Perhaps they were almost entirely different now. I couldn't see how this water of life could ever be used for good. Even if it had healed Sanen's arm, he'd suffered greatly in the process. Why? It sounded more like a moan than a question. My father would never want to ruin the life of another, but because of what he'd done, people suffered, and some even died. Why was my father doing this? But it wasn't just my father. I was sure no one involved expected such a terrible outcome. Perhaps that's why Kodo left. His conscience would no longer allow him to continue. But the Water of Life was an opportunity given to us by the Shogun to help strengthen the Shinsengumi. Okay, don't be so positive about it. Like, you're turning people into monsters. I mean, just simmer down a little, Kondo. Jesus. The doctor only shook his head. It was an experiment and has failed. You should put it behind you. I'm sure the Shogunate has abandoned it as well. Kondo frowned, perhaps unhappy that Dr. Matsumoto would question the Shogunate's original decision. You've seen what happened to the men it was tested on, Kondo. It cannot be allowed to continue. This experiment is inhumane and you know it. Kondo gave a non-committal grunt and fell silent. I was sure Kondo knew just how dangerous it was to use the Water of Life, but the Shogunate had come to him with a request. Perhaps he couldn't refuse, even if he wanted to. Silence fell like a thick blanket. I understand that you're the Shogunate's designated doctor, but you're not one of us. An outsider has no right to object. Sanin? His face was pale as moonlight, as if he was a walking corpse. Well, that makes him sound unsexy. Stop trying to ruin him for me. Jesus, game. Is it okay for you to be up right now? Shouldn't you be resting, Sanin? You look pale. You look like death. Thanks a lot. Don't worry about me. He bowed quickly, his mouth a compressed line, and turned to regard the doctor with a cool gaze. We use this treatment effectively, and at our own discretion. It's dangerous, far too strong. We've continued Koto's research. I am, as you can see, living proof, so to speak. He technically is still alive, even though he's a demon, sorta, but as Sanin did indeed prove, it was possible to drink the Water of Life and retain your sanity. It just wasn't easy. Perhaps you're right, but that could also mean that you're forcing your body in ways the eyes can't see. I am perfectly healthy. I respectfully disagree. With continued research and modification, we'll have many more successes and fewer casualties. Do you plan on sacrificing more of your men in order to have more successes? Using your men to experiment with things that put them in danger comes off as a disregard for life. It's a disgrace. These men who gave their lives are the foundation of our work. They did not die in vain. Plus, they were all criminals and we were going to make them stab themselves anyway, so same difference. I mean, come on. It'd be like doing human test trials instead of animal testing on prisoners. That's essentially what this is. We'd make you kill yourself or we'd kill you as opposed to putting you in jail, but we're gonna do human experiments on you instead. That's kind of like the equivalent. If that makes you feel any worse. We just don't kill people. You came back too late. You have to kill yourself now. I mean, seriously, they got some crazy ass rules, right? We've seen that. We will see that. I think that's in a later part in the game, but we've seen it in Nagakura's route. Not that Hijikata made him do it, but I'm just saying that was the penalty. You came back late. You must stab yourself now. That's excessive. Most people just get grounded. Jesus. But, alright, that's enough. From both of you. Why don't we discuss this some other time? Yeah, right, because I don't, whatever. It was my private opinion that they were unlikely to agree, no matter what time they discussed the subject. But I felt it was polite to keep quiet. Very well. Sorry, I was yawning. There seemed to be very little common ground between them, but both arguments had merit. Kondo had likely seen this as well, and he chose to end things before it got unpleasant. If you insist, Kondo. Sanin's face betrayed nothing of what he might be thinking, even when the corner of his mouth quirked up into the beginning of a smile. He bowed quietly and left as swiftly as he had arrived. So, how did the exams go? Ah, yes, about that. This sure is a headache. What? Why is that? What do you mean, why? The amount of injured and sick warriors is nearly a third of your force. What? Impossible! It's not only possible, Kondo, it's the truth. What have you been doing to these poor men? Cuts, lacerations, bell pain. The entire place is lousy with, laced for one. Ew. Seriously? So embarrassed to hear this. I never would have imagined. First, you need to set aside a room dedicated to medical care. Sick men can be sent there. Second, you need to clean this place up. Otherwise, I won't be able to help you. Understood. I'll get to it this instant. Yay, spring cleaning. So we were ordered to clean the entire compound. Why the hell do we have to do a massive cleaning? There's nothing I hate more in the world than cleaning and organizing crap. Stop bitching. Hurry up and lift up that cabinet over there. And now's the perfect chance to serve up those meat cakes you were flaunting earlier. 2 tickets to the gun show. Boom, boom. Ah! Hurrat! Calm down. It's not a big deal. It seems as though it was feeding on that rice ball over there. You're right. Who the hell hid their leftovers over here in the corner? Ugh. Why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? I imagine he does the, like, hand on the forehead, like, oh! You know, I need a fainting couch. He's the southern damsel in distress. That's what I'm saying. We should have given him that voice. Oh, why do I have to bother myself with such a menial task like a servant? We gotta have some fun every once in a while, but that's what Ito's for. But he's just over dramatic, and I just read his lines overly excessive. But we're not gonna give him the southern damsel in distress voice because it's too late in the game for that. Anyway, I mean, I'm a strategist more than anything. Cleaning isn't in my job description. Chill out. Why don't you just whip out your prized Koshu style and do all the work for us? Shut it! My Koshu military science wasn't designed to help any of you with your housework. What a preposterous idea. You're quite the big meanie, Harada. Those archaic tactics of his wouldn't be enough to fetch a broom, let alone clean this mess. Miki, you watch your mouth. It may be outdated compared to Western studies, but Koshu military science is far from outdated. Oh, look! Kondo's coming. What? Chief Kondo, please look. This room was so dirty you couldn't even walk on it, but under my guidance it's clean as a Well, where's the chief? Takeda realized Kondo was nowhere to be seen and he glared at Harada. Heh! You fell for it. Damn you, Harada. You tricked me. Wow. Between bitching, kissing ass, and whining like a baby, you're quite the multitasker. Don't you ever get tired of being a two-faced prick, not knowing which face to show people? Hi, everyone. I've washed the rags. Please use this when you wipe the floor. Oh, awesome. Thanks. Despite being upset because of chore duty, the men swiftly cleaned the room as a team. It's just chore duty. You're like, you do realize that I'm the one that fucking cleans everything. I will fucking kick your asses if you bitch about 7 of you having to clean one fucking room. Because I am the only person that has been cleaning everything fucking else. I will kick you in the nuts, you sons of bitches. Not your fucking wife. Yet. Yet. And besides, this is the reverse harem, so you will do my bidding and you will fucking clean, and I'm just gonna sit here and eat grapes, bitches. Feed me grapes. Anyway. Dr. Masumoto came the next day to inspect the cleanliness of the compounds. Gets his white glove out, climbs up, like, runs his fingers all up here on the wood, and goes, "There's still dust, you assholes." Well, we can't reach that. Okay, this looks to be in adequate shape. Great! See, everyone, even the doctor realizes that I'm in shape. Compared to the complexity of war tactics, it's not like cleaning is some brilliant task. All you did was complain. Didn't Soji get to rest all day? Sounds like he got special treatment while he busted our asses, yeah, because he would have just coughed blood all over everything and made cleaning twice as hard. Hey, don't blame me. Hijikata's the one being overprotective here. It's your fault. You're the one coughing up a lung. You're not improving because you don't take care of yourself. Seeing the compound in such cleanly condition is, I must admit, quite nice. True. Place looks different. I could get used to this. That just tells me that the monks are dirty because we took over and, like, did we just filth it up instantly, or were the monks, like, just not cleaning ever? Because I feel like the monks would be, like, cleaning constantly and it would be, like, spotless and glorious all the time. And then we move in and it's like a rat-infested shithole. I mean, that would be what happens if I moved in because I'm a fucking slob. Like, there is dust all over my goddamn apartment. It's, like, 4 feet thick. Like, I'm kidding. I don't dust. I'm not kidding. Do not dust. Hate it. But, like, seriously? Like, damn. They fucked this place up fast, that's all I'm saying. It's taken me years to collect this much dust. Okay, not that long. Dust accumulates fast. But still, I don't have rice balls in the corner. I hope not. Ew. I mean, okay, there are crumbs all over my floor from the bird. That's why we vacuum a lot. Like, that's why he's got plastic under his cage, because there's food everywhere. Anyway. Well, maybe we should clean every day then. Great idea. Make sure you do a good job, Heisuke. Me? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a minute here. You got the most energy, Shin. Don't think you're getting out of this. I'll help too, Heisuke. Oh yeah? Well, we'll take it on together. You and me alone. Forget Shin. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't say I wasn't gonna do it. Oh, everybody wants to be with me. Shinpachi, some trash over there. We'll throw it away. We aren't starting until tomorrow, right? Heisuke? Stop running around like that. We just cleaned and you're already kicking up dust. Kicking up dust. It's inside. It should be clean. You're not outside anyway. I was enjoying the banter when I noticed something. Oh. I could just see Okita and Dr. Masumoto outside, walking off somewhere together. Where could they be going, I wondered. None of my damn business. It ain't none of my business. Look, if Okita wants to give the doctor a blowjob, it's none of my damn business. I'm just kidding. No, he loves us secretly, even though he wants to kill us. He just wants to stab us. Not literally. Metaphorically. That's why he keeps threatening to kill us. You're like, oh, that's your pickup Didn't get that. Anyway. I was worried for Okita, but he'd be fine so long as Dr. Masumoto was with him. After the excitement wound down, I excused myself and went back to work. That's just really so you don't get points with Saito. Because you got nothing out of that. I was outside sweeping, bamboo broom in hand, when he appeared. What are you doing here? Don't come any closer! His voice was so deep it felt as if it were exhumed from the depths of the earth, cowering me. Slowly I turned around. You have the pure blood of a demon running in your veins, and yet you run errands and clean up for a pack of humans. We don't really call humans packs, but it's okay. We're not like wolves over here. Kazama! His face was a mixture of surprise and sneering disgust as he looked down at me through cold eyes. I held the broom in both hands like a staff and stepped into what I hoped was a fighting stance. What are you doing here? He laughed with a disdain, snorting at my weapon. Wasn't really loud, I don't know if you heard me. But you mean to fight me with that? Your heritage hasn't blessed you with brains, I see. Hey, that is not the way. It is actually the way to a woman's heart in these games. You insult us a lot and then we fall in love with you. And his tone was mocking, but his eyes were like 2 chips of ice. This was a dangerous man. What was I to do? I could hardly face him alone. Calm down. I haven't come here to fight. Not today, at least. I only want to know what, if anything, you have to do with Kyoto. My father? I was staring at him, stunned by his statement. Father? You mean Kyoto? If you're talking about Kyoto Yukimura, then yes, he's my father. I see. He's like, you have no fucking idea about anything, do you? And you're like, nope, totally clueless. At first he seemed surprised, but then he wore a malicious grin, as if he became privy to everything. Why are you asking about my father? I lowered the broom, my situation temporarily forgotten when... Trying to sneak into the enemy camp alone, huh? Well, not on my watch. Hijikata! I was literally thinking, Hijikata! In my head, and she fucking said it, so... Oh my god. Anyway. What are you doing out here in broad daylight? It's a little early to be picking up chicks, pal. Get away from her! Harada, ice skate. I heard you yelling. It sounded like you were up to something besides cleaning. Well, apparently, what if I was getting serviced by one of the other guys? Like, and you just came running? I guess that's why you keep it quiet and not in public. Like, outside on the front steps. I'm just saying, you know, you never know what's going to happen in these games. We know what's going to happen in these games. We don't even get kissed in these games. Jesus. Well, this one. Cock-blocking game. Please, if there was, like, inappropriate shit like that was happening in this game, I'd be like, I couldn't read it. I'd be like, oh god, I can't. No! Inappropriate love scenes. Anyway. You're right, Spacey. Are you hurt? Yeah, don't worry about me. I'm fine. The Miibu's wolves. That's really fucking Miibu's wolves. Why is that so difficult? I don't know. Can only fight in a pack, eh? Yeah, against a demon, because, yeah, I mean, watch it. I could feel the tension rising by the second, but it was Kazama who attempted to cut through it. If you want to play, then I'm happy to oblige, but I'm here today to take care of some business. More specifically, to issue a warning. Stop trying to turn humans into demons. What? Humans into demons? Is he talking about the water of life? You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, what makes you think we're gonna listen to a sleazebag who would attack a girl in broad daylight? Idiots! Are you too blind to see I'm doing you a favor? Well, they do say the smaller the dog, the louder the bark. This is our turf! You better shut your trap before we gotta do it for you! Huh. He looked away from the captains as if entirely uninterested in them, and flashed a cold gaze to me. Spacey Yukamura. Kyoto is with us now. Do you understand what that means? Your father has abandoned the shogunate. What? His mysterious smile gave me nothing in the way of explanation. Why are you here? I suggest you think on that carefully. Then with a slow, rippling motion, like a shadow sliding on ground, he turned his back and vanished. What was happening? What were demons, and why had they come after me? I'm sorry, I just needed a moment to sigh. Why are they after me? Because you're a demon! Oh my god, idiot. Like, for fuck's sake, stupid. They've already told you this. Why did they come after me? Take a wild, leaping motherfucking guess. Because you a demon. Like, didn't they tell her this? Didn't they? I mean, girl, father was with them? On their side, he must have meant. Did that mean he was working with imperialists? The inside of my head was a swirling mass of questions and doubts, but the one thing that most concerned me was the demons. Who were these men who called themselves demons? First time I get to choose this. Yay. What are these demons? After fighting them, I can say they sure as hell aren't human. Not by a long shot. I've fought against many different kinds of warriors, but I've never met anyone as powerful as them. Yeah, I'd say demon is a pretty good way to describe him. Kazama and his companions clearly had strength and skill far beyond that of most men. I could even say that if they were to go against a wild bear or wolf, they'd still defeat them. Well, if Hijikata thinks they're demons, then they gotta be demons. Yeah, he's the Shinsegumi's demon after all. Shut it, you two. This is serious. He's like, yeah. Their playful argument was familiar ground, but it was a small beacon against the darkness. I felt myself relax, and a sigh of relief found its way through me. We don't get points with Hijikata for that? From then on, Masumoto visited the compound regularly to check up on the men of the Shinsengumi. So we choose that, we get a little brief sentence but we get nothing. He is harder than fuck. My God. He is harder to get romance. I mean, we've already maxed the romance because that's how we started this. But he is harder to get romance points with than Saito was. I mean, Saito's a motherfucking robot. But, like, Jesus. Anyway. Ever since Sanin had become the leader of the Furies, the group was named as the Fury Corps. Still, I couldn't help but wonder, was it really all right to continue researching the Furies? My heart was heavy with worry. Without him, the Shinsengumi would be nothing. We would cease to exist. If so, why? Some month, some year. I'm just guessing that's when they're going to come up. August 1865. I forget what year and month we're in when we. I can't keep dates in my head, bitches. August 1865. Oh, this is going to be when everybody leaves, isn't it? Oh, this is going to be when Ito finds out, and then we. Oh no. Anyway. It was my second summer since coming to Kyoto. Last year, our hands were full between the Battle of the Ikeda Inn and the Hamaguri Rebellion. This year, however, was much quieter. Thanks in part to the relative peace, I'd been busy searching for clues about my father on rounds, and I was able to help around the headquarters. But today, the air was so humid I couldn't sleep. Maybe I'll go outside. Some fresh air might help. After I learned of the existence of the Furies, I've been given something much closer to free reign. My connection to Dr. Masumoto had probably also worked in my favor. I shouldn't get in too much trouble for taking a little walk at night, right? I slipped out of bed and tiptoed out of my room. Uh, the air outside was okay. Was much easier to breathe. I was starting to think I might take a short walk around the compound when, okay, this didn't happen. Interesting. Because she gets attacked in her room. She never leaves her room. I don't think this happened in any other path. Huh? It's the middle of the night, but I could see a figure standing in the inner courtyard. Something wrong? Did something happen? I frowned at myself and inched toward the figure. Yeah, we've never had this before. Okay, good. As I got closer, I could see that the lone figure was Hichikata. He was standing almost completely still, the silvery moonlight shining down on him. He possessed an air of melancholy, standing there, as if he was waiting for someone. I thought to myself that I should walk on, pretending that I didn't see anything. Good evening, Hichikata. My apologies for calling you out here so late. Nothing to apologize for. I asked you to come here. Can't really talk during the day. I lost my opportunity to say something, and I stood there confused. How are you doing? Don't bullshit me, Sonnen. Well, the sun is down, so I'm feeling all right. If I have any complaints, they would be about this wretched heat and this intolerable humidity. They didn't seem to notice me. If I tried to leave, I was sure I'd make some kind of noise and they'd catch me. I decided to just keep quiet. I know you don't like the sun. Nobody likes this heat. Well, you know what I'm getting at, Sonnen. Are you... You want to see if I've gone mad, correct? If your heart aches for me because of what I've become, perhaps this can serve as a balm. I do not regret drinking the water of life. Indeed, I'm quite pleased with the results. My arm can carry a sword again, something I never thought would happen again. But Sonnen's smile didn't seem to be what Hijikata wanted, and he frowned. Sorry, bird. I went to go itch, and I poked his tail. He doesn't like that. Yeah, you healed up real good, but at what cost? When you became a fury, part of you goes away. When you become a fury, part of you goes away. Maybe even too much. This isn't something we should be taking lightly. You worry far too much, Hijikata. Look at the bigger picture. We've been given a gift. A miracle, even. One man's miracle is another's curse. I don't like this. It's too late. Hijikata scowled. How scary. I'd be a fool to disregard one of your hunches. You'd be a fool to joke about this. I'm being serious. Sana just shrugged. I wanted you to be up there with Kondo. You're a colonel. You should be one of the faces of the Shinsengumi. This behavior is so unlike you. Are you sure you're all right? Then suddenly he looked up. I had no time to hide, and he looked right at me. Spacey. Hijikata turned toward me, surprised. There was no point in running, so I just looked at the ground and tried to be as small as possible. I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what to say. And then you were talking, and... He's like, you're always in the... I'm gonna fucking stab you. You were always getting yourself in trouble by accident. Really, Hijikata, you have much more important things to worry about than me. What about Ito and his followers, for instance? I hear he's been acting suspicious. Yeah, I'll handle him. It's my job as commander. Sonnen's eyes thinned with satisfaction. Then he nodded slightly to me before taking his leave. I contemplated whether or not to return to my room, but... Yukimura, you haven't been dismissed yet. Okay. I froze. You're not an idiot. Probably shouldn't act like one. The more you know, the more danger you put yourself in. You've seen how easy it is to die around here. Do you understand me? No, I think you need to punish me a little. Teach me a lesson. What? Nothing. Sorry. She's like, I don't do it on purpose. I literally walk out. La 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 la. People talking. And shit, if I keep going, then they're going to suspect that I heard everything, even though I just got here and I didn't. But now I've heard everything, and oh, now they notice me because I'm standing out in the wide fucking open. I mean, don't be sorry. Be careful. Stay out of trouble. He sighed and rubbed his temple with a tired hand. When it seemed like he had nothing more to say, Hichikata turned and began to walk off. Hichikata... I was surprised to hear myself speak. but the way he looked so lonely, I felt like I had to say something. So, my father can do it. I'll help with the research. Can I help with the Fury research? The hell? No, of course not. I know I don't have my father's knowledge or expertise or, well, anything really, and I'm completely fucking useless, but I figured I would just. You know what? No, that was stupid. That was stupid. You know what? You're right. I'm dumb. I knew it was pointless, but I felt responsible. Like my father's duties were passed down to me. But I didn't know anything about medicine and even less about whatever it was that created Furies. It was maddening. I know absolutely nothing about science, but I should be able to do science and medical shit, right? Because, like, it's my responsibility because my dad fucked this shit up. And he's like, oh, God, you're an idiot. I mean, I get it. She feels guilty on his behalf, but it's just kind of funny that she's like, I know I'm useless, but I can read his notes, though, and help explain them to other people. He left a lot of his research at our house back in Edo. There's got to be something there. Maybe I can find something that'll help them, or... Calm down, Yukimura. Koto continued his research when he was here. Get it? Even if we went back to your house to dig through his stuff, chances that something there will tell us stuff we don't already know is slim to none. But I could do my own research, or... You're not thinking this through. Things go bad. Could you accept responsibility for that? Well, I... looked at me inside. Look, Koto's probably one of the top doctors of Western medicine in the country, and he couldn't figure this out. You're fucking useless. Yeah, kinda. A kid who can barely tell her ass from her elbow isn't gonna do any better. Oh my god, you're so mean to me. It's so true, but you're so mean. I know her ass from her elbow. Hey! I may only be good at cleaning, and I may have a kodachi that I don't know how to fucking use, even though I've been here for years and I should have been training this whole time and I should actually be somewhat decent, but I'm still cowardly because I'm afraid of hurting people and I'm afraid of weapons, so I kind of understand that, but I'm also getting myself in trouble all the time, but I still know the difference between my ass and my elbow, you motherfucker. Don't be a dick. I love you anyway. He was right, of course, about all of it. I felt stupid to think for a moment that I may be able to solve something my father had failed to. Like, I just want to be useful to you. And he's like, just shut up. Sorry. I tried to look as contrite as possible. Hijikata's mouth twisted. He's like, God, you're adorable when you're being an asshole. You want to help. That's what matters. I won't forget it. Huh? Right now, you have to wait. The Shinsengumi made this problem. And that means we have to find a solution to it. Even if he was cold, he did care. Because he's the fucking marshmallow. I think I get it. Your dad was part of the Fury research, and now you feel responsible. That sound right? I nodded. We're still looking for Kodo. Either the Watch will come up with something or they won't. You'll just have to wait. What I'm saying is, you're being a kid. Leave this to the adults. Hey! I'm probably like 16. Shut up, I'm not a kid. I kept my mouth shut, though, and he frowned. We all know the Furies are bad news. In a perfect world, we just leave it well enough alone. But it's far from perfect. And the hard truth is that they might be our only advantage. You mean... Only a last resort, though. The cost's too high. Ichikata's face scrunched in an unpleasant manner. Never mind. This is just between us. You tell anyone and we have a little talk. Clear? I'd heard the same warning many times before. No, he said he'd kill me, but I nodded. Good. Get back to your room. Don't get caught. Right. And next time you take a walk, think about where people might be and go the other way. I'll be careful. I turned and headed back toward my room at a pace that was nearly a run. Hijikata had certainly earned his reputation, and he reminded me why every time I saw him. But there was more to him than that. His cold, severe mask hid more empathy than people realized. Or maybe they did. A man didn't earn that much respect through discipline alone. I slowed to a walk and let the night wind brush against my face as I thought about Hijikata and the kind of man he was. Just like fantasizing about him now. Aren't we all? Just a little bit. October 1866. Well, wait, whoa. Weren't we just in August of 1865? Is that a typo? I mean, seriously, did we really just jump a year? Weren't we just in August of 1865? I have to check, because, like... Go through lots of conversation. Yeah, it was August of 1865. Now it's October of 1866. It's been a whole fucking year that nothing happened. All right. After the dust cleared following the Hamagori Rebellion, the shogun set about cleaning house. The Choshu expedition was launched by the shogun once the Choshu domain were declared enemies of the court. Perhaps feeling they dodged a bullet, the Choshu domain fell silent for a time. Their obedience was short-lived, however, and before long their disrespect for the shogun became impossible to ignore. In order to investigate further, the shogunate decided to send an envoy to the Choshu domain. Kondo is asked to accompany an envoy sent to the Choshu to investigate their behavior. However, the Choshu domain refused to even meet with the envoy. Fed up with their insubordination, the shogunate ordered the second Choshu expedition. However, the war was a costly one, exhausting both the resources and the men from all over domains, whose morale began to falter. To add to the fire, word of the Shogun Iemochi's passing shook all of Japan, and some domains even withdrew, which made the situation even more dire. The second Choshu expedition had ended in a surprisingly major loss for the shogunate troops. October 1866. The pillar of the Tokugawa shogunate, which stood strong for 260 years, was beginning to show signs of instability. That day, I was accompanying Saito on his rounds. Sure has been hot lately. I've gotten used to the city of Kyoto, but I just can't get used to this humid heat. Welcome to the South. Well, Southern United States. I feel your pain. Maybe not as bad. I don't know. I've never been to Japan in the summer, but... October. Literally. It's actually October here, and she's like, it's fucking hot. And I'm like, you know what? Wait, no, it's October here, and it's still fucking hot. Like, the South doesn't know what the fall is. Anyway. Indeed. I always wondered, even in midsummer, Saito always wears full uniform. Wasn't he hot? He kept his vigilant guard up while observing the city of Kyoto. Well, we can begin with the store and do our rounds. Wait here, Yukimura. There's nothing for you to do inside. All right. He gave me a short nod of confirmation and stepped into the shop with his men. It's the Shinsengumi. There are rumors floating around about Ronin coming in and out of here, so I'll have to inspect your store. Yes, sir, of course. I've been waiting for Saito and his division for a few minutes when I noticed a commotion nearby. Hey, out of the way. You got a couple of patriots coming through here. Ah, this is when we meet Sen. A number of rather unpleasant-looking Ronin were making their way in my general direction, yelling, threatening, and intimidating anyone unfortunate enough to cross their path. Patriots? Hardly. Perhaps they considered themselves loyal to the imperial court, but they look like the sort who only use their supposed patriotism as an excuse to steal and kill, and probably harass our brother who's dressed like a girl. Hey, you deaf? Told you to move! Ronan tossed a poorly aimed kick at a child playing in the street. What should I do? It seemed like the warriors were preoccupied with their investigation in the store, and just as I was about to stop the Ronin... Desist, you hooligans! What is this? You think you can tell us what to do, lady? Huh, a woman wants to pick a fight with us? Patriots loyal to the Emperor? Well, perhaps it's you who should feel pathetic for being told by a woman to stop. Don't you know how much trouble you're causing to the Kyoto civilians? You bitch! I mean, hey, don't call a rare female demon a bitch. I think that's funny because we're not really that rare, but anyway. Maybe we're the only 3 female demons and then it would make us rare, but it just seems that still the odds in the game are not that rare, I'm just saying. The man's obviously short fuse had been lit. He made a grab for the girl and missed. I suspected his next attack wouldn't be as inaccurate. I couldn't let that happen. Wait! When I had come to my senses, I noticed that I had instinctively taken action. I positioned myself in front of the girl, protecting her, and she's like, please! You suck at being a demon. I can kick their asses. She probably can. She's probably better than us. Who are you? You know this broad? No, I don't. And how's about you keep your damn nose out of my goddamn business? Flecks of spit flew from his mouth as he roared at me. My legs suddenly felt somewhat weaker than they had a moment ago. But I was committed. I couldn't run now. Okay, bye. If you truly love your country, as you say, then why do you abuse women and children? A samurai should protect common people, not attack them. What did you say? That's right. You tell him, son. Yeah. Got some townspeople on my side, bitch. Woo. How do you like that? You damn Ronin. Patriot my ass. Get out of my city. Something about my speech must have struck a chord with the gathering crowd. With the cheers, my legs started to regain some of their usual steadiness. I'm like, yeah, feeling way too cocky. You son of a bitch! With the rough hiss of metal, the Ronin's sword leapt from its scabbard. Ah! I suddenly discovered I had difficulty swallowing. I could try to dodge, but if I did, he might hit the girl my actions had intended to protect. I was about to draw my sword. Gah! Huh? Come on. Oh, I love it when Saito's in his fucking fighting stance. I just love his face. It's so intense and beautiful. Slowly, carefully, I opened my eyes. I fucking love him. I'm sorry. I know where Ichigata's route, but I still love Saito. You needn't worry. I used the back of my sword. Saito! You! Take them to headquarters. They may be Choshu. Yes, sir! Working quickly, Saito's men set to work binding the Ronin for transport. Saito's cold eyes fell on me. They don't look cold. No. You're trying really hard not to love us. I know you are. Stroking his face. You're gonna stroke your little cheek. Boop you on the nose. Boop. I was reckless. Why didn't you call me? What were you going to do if they hurt you gravely? I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking. But I couldn't help myself. I mean, what if she were to get injured? The gentleman is right. You were dreadfully reckless. I had the situation quite well in hand. You're fucking welcome. Scolding from Saito was expected, but I hadn't thought that my erstwhile damsel in distress would contribute. We're more damsel in distress than Sen, but, you know. I'm sorry I made you worry. I gave her a short, slightly confused bow to which she blinked, as if suddenly remembering something very important. Oh, but you did save me, didn't you now? And I haven't yet thanked you. How crude of me. Thank you. Oh, well, I didn't do anything. It was Saito and his men who made the actual arrest. Oh, you needn't be so modest. It's way more respectful than just being a bystander. I suspect that our meeting here is Providence. Young ladies must watch out for one another here in the city. What? Saito glanced from her to me, and an expression flashed across his face that I couldn't quite place. You can't expect to fool everyone. There's no need to worry about it. Oh dear, was it supposed to be a secret? Perhaps I shouldn't have mentioned it. Well, I wasn't entirely sure how to respond. How does a person respond to that sort of question? She seemed to sense my confusion and gracefully moved on. I'm terribly sorry, but I don't believe I've even asked your name. How terribly boorish of me. I should very much like to be friends, but it's difficult to become acquainted with the nameless. Might I inquire as to who you are then? Well, this is... Oh, I know who he is. Mr. Saito, yes? The Shinsengumi is frightfully famous here. And you are? My name is Spacey Yukamura. It's nice to meet you. Yukamura? Her eyes grew wide as if she were surprised, and she stared intently at me. Your last name is Yukamura? Were you born in the East? Why, yes. I was living in Edo, but I had come to Kyoto for a certain reason. She was acting a little strange, so I tried to speak to her, and she laughed and looked up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's nothing. It was the same last name as my acquaintance. I think Yukamura is a really pretty last name. You think so? Thank you. And it's a pleasure to meet you, Spacey. You may call me Sen. Miss Sen, nice to meet you. Oh, goodness, you needn't be so uptight. You look to be about my age, so I see no reason for us not to speak as equals. So just Sen, then. Yes, I suppose that will do. We must meet again sometime, Spacey. She gave my hand a gentle squeeze, then turned and left, her kimono flapping behind her. Our encounter was over before I'd had a chance to grasp what was even happening, and so I simply stood, stunned, for a moment or two. Saito was eyeing Sen walk off, and eventually he turned to me. That girl seemed to be rather curious about your last name. I know, huh? She did say it was the same as her acquaintances. Well, I guess Yukimura isn't an uncommon name either. Your acquaintances, yeah, the Demon Clan. He's like, I love the way Saito looks like when he's like staring off in the, you know. It seemed like Saito was concerned with her reaction to my name, and he was deep in thought. We're running behind our schedule. We should be going now. Oh, yes! So we continued on our rounds, trying to withstand the scorching heat. So hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, I just saw something, like, there's a choice later in the, like, in chapter 4, and it, like, had asterisks by it, but, yeah, and because it's one of the choices, like, later when he just kind of gives you the mission where you can go bring a message to Saito, and they were made a note, like, I initially made this choice, and if you do it this way, then you miss out on talking to Saito, but it's like, that works in his route, though, so it doesn't really matter in Hijikata's route if you miss that, because we've seen it. It's not like we haven't seen it, or, oh, it's a whole so it doesn't matter. Anyway. The heat wave ended up lasting several days. On one such day... pardon me, Yukimura, is the batch of tea I prepared good enough? Oh, it may be better to make them lukewarm. It's still quite hot today, you know? Ah, I see. You're amazing. This young man is Kazue Soma. He joined the Shinsengumi just before summer began. He's very serious and respectful. Kondo supposedly met him when he was in Choshu for the envoy, and he invited Soma to join us. Now he currently works as Kondo's page because we didn't do the option where we met Soma and we're there, but so that's why it's funny, like, oh, Kondo's apparently met him. We've never met him up to this point, but anyway. I guess he grew fond of the Shinsengumi and he was focused on learning about all that it takes to become a successful warrior. And maybe we could water it down. But if you do that, then the tea's flavor will become lighter. Oh. Hey, Soma, what are we supposed to do then? Oh, good God, you don't know how to make your own goddamn tea? Jesus. Why don't we cool it down with the well water? Oh, that's a good idea. Let's give it a try. The energetic lad is Risaburo Nomura. He joined the Shinsengumi around the same time as Soma, and because of their closeness in age, Nomura became Kondo's page in training. For him, he was a huge fan of the Shinsengumi, and he joined them because of it. That left me to make sure that I teach them about all of the duties and responsibilities that go into becoming a page, which was harder than I thought. The tea doesn't have to be room temperature, just a little cooler to offset the hot weather. So first, prepare some warm water rather than boiling hot. Then try brewing it. That way it doesn't dilute the tea's flavor. Whoa! Wow, okay, I see. Huh, you sure do know a lot about this stuff. Yeah. It's making tea. I mean, it doesn't take a fucking genius. Just... Hold on. Sorry, I sneeze. I agree. It's very educational. Thanks? Well, as for the tea, I'll pour some and take it to them, so you two... What do you want us to do? We'll do anything. Yes, indeed. Let us know. Please fucking leave. Alright, guys. You two are gonna do some sword training with me. Soma looks pissed. What's the matter? You don't want to do it? Oh, it's him. What's the matter? You don't want to do it? No! Please train us. Well, as for me, I have some work to do. Hey, you're a newbie. Don't be shy now. Nomura, come on now. This training as well will make us great warriors. They're afraid of training with Shinpachi. That's not training. That's pure hazing. Well, I'll be taking them off your hands for the moment. Okay, please take care of them. Don't kill them, Nagakura. Jesus. Soma gulped deeply and he looked nervous. Nomura, on the other hand, looked ready to cry as Nagakura dragged them both off to training. I wish the two of them the best of luck. She's like, oh, you're gonna die. Here's some parched barley tea, Kondo. Supposedly it lowers the body's temperature. Oh, thank you. The tea you pour is always easy to drink. It's perfect, Yukimura. Thank you. He was deep in thought, arms crossed and stern. Things were bad since Lord Iamochi's death. Kondo especially was having a difficult time. Perhaps it was best if I simply left him alone. What you doing? What are you doing? You gonna try? Oh, you trying to talk to the birdies outside? Yeah? She's all excited. Oh, you're like super excited. He's like super happy. It's like bright and sunny, so the birdies are all out today. Anyway, perhaps it was best if I simply left him alone. I turned and had already begun to walk away when he spoke. Masimoto is examining Soji right now. His coughing had grown more violent and more frequent lately. Perhaps... What did he say? He hasn't said anything yet. I hope it's nothing serious. Something happened to Soji. I don't know how I'd be able to face her. Her? When we left for Kyoto, Misu, his older sister, asked me to look out for him. Oh, Okita has an older sister? He does. They lost their parents when they were children, so Misu is Soji's parental figure and raised him. I see. Okita seems to have been through a lot. Well, he is an honest man. I'm sure he didn't think he went through a lot. Seriously? To call a twisted man like him honest, I think he would be the only... to call a twisted man like him honest, I think you'd be the only person in all of Japan who'd say that. Oh, Hichikata. Ah, Toshi, how are you? You want some tea too? No, I don't need any, but... Did you hear about the notice board over by Sanjo Ohashi Bridge? Yeah, I've heard. The notice board about the Choshu crimes, right? Some assholes pulled it out and tossed it into the Kamo. Of course, heard about that as well. But I thought that they put the notice board back up the next day. They did. Same thing happened. I think they're gonna ask us to keep an eye on it pretty soon. It got torn down at night, didn't it? What do you say to using Sanen's Fury Core then? The Fury Core? You think it's a bad idea? They work hard enough, but they tend to get a little excited. Whenever we give them something to do, they end up slaughtering the other side. That's not enough for them, though. Oh, that's him. That's not enough for them, though. They go in and hack the corpses to bits. Most of the time, they're not even recognizable. Maybe they're doing it to try and hide the Shinsegumi's hand. Or they're going too far. We're not just a pack of murderers. I told them to knock it off, but they won't listen. They just want to play with their corpses. So fucking gross. Keep this up and we're no better than those night cutters. I felt a shiver shake down my spine as he spoke. Bird, what the motherfuck? You're really excited! Are you scared? What are you doing? He's just like constantly flying. He just takes off, flies around the apartment, lands. Takes off, flies around the apartment. Takes off, flies around the apartment. Like, Jesus Christ. You are really fucking excitable right now. I don't see birdies out there, though. Are you... Oh, wait. You hear crows? I think I can hear him in the distance. Anyway. I felt a shiver snake down my spine as he spoke. Even after a year, I remembered with terrifying clarity what I'd seen when I first arrived in Kyoto. Furies. Oh, I saw that birdie. He'd behaved as if possessed by evil spirits, their swords mercilessly hacking away at dead men. It hadn't been hatred or fear that drove them, but some sort of twisted amusement. I didn't think I'd ever forget the half-mad smiles each had worn. I've got a few other ideas. Good, good. I'll leave the details to you then, Toshi. Ah, yes. Have you heard about Lord Yoshinobu? Hitotsubashi. Holy crap. Yoshinobu Hitotsubashi, the old guardian of the Shogun. Yeah, what about him? I heard a couple of people say he's, like, Ieyasu reborn? I don't know about that, but I do hear he's pretty sharp. Before long, they'd started to discuss politics I didn't understand, and I politely excused myself. She's like, I passed the fuck out. That would be me. Oh my god, you're talking about politics, I need to leave. I thought back on what Hijikata had said. It was true Sana had been acting strange, and the Fury Core had been getting more and more violent. There was a lot on my mind, but what worried me most was the notice board. Just as Hijikata predicted, a few days later, the order came down from for the Shinsengumi to guard the notice board. All divisions not on regular patrol rounds were directed to take turns on guard duty. The first day was quiet, and the men on duty spent most of it simply standing around. Ugh, man, I'm sleepy. Never mind. I was like, if I actually fake yawn, I'm gonna really yawn. But it was stuck in my head now. I have to really... Okay. Hey, you're becoming a real schlub. You need to sharpen up, man. Oh, come on, give me a break. Pulling an all-nighter at Shimabara is one thing. Standing guard for a goddamn board all night really sucks it out of me. Man, I hope something happens today. So, who's in charge tonight? It's your division, right, Sano? Sure is. I'll discharge my duty with honor and enthusiasm. Sounds sarcastic. Just then. Oh, hello, Ito. Hello to you too, Miki. Oh, why, hello, you three. Oh, pardon me. Were you in the middle of using this room for something? Ito and Miki entered the room, followed by a bunch of warriors from the Ito faction. What's the deal with all those men behind you? Are you up to something here? Oh, me? Oh, well, I was planning to have a debate session with my comrades, the topic being the subject of the new debate. Would all of you like to join us as well? You sure are a snide one, bro. There's no way in hell these guys would have read the 4 books and 5 classics, let alone be able to participate in any kind of debate. Oh my! What could have possibly gotten into you, little brother? Please excuse him, my dears. I apologize. Darling, seems like this room is already in use, so let's find another place for us to flock. Ito and his men went back out in the hallway and disappeared. As soon as they were out of sight, Nagakora's face warped. Boy, up to his usual pain-in-the-ass antics, huh? I know. He's gathering men and having secret meetings. Who knows what goes on during those meetings? I still don't get why Kondo and Heisuke brought him here. It wasn't just Nagakora and Harada who didn't seem to like Ito much. I heard plenty of the other captains, and even some of the soldiers, talking about him in less than glowing terms. There was no way Ito himself hadn't picked up on it, but he seemed to have larger concerns than his reputation, and had devoted his efforts to increasing his power base within the Shinsengumi. Oh, hello, Takeda. I believe Ito and his men were here moments ago. Yeah, they were just here. They went off to another room to have some discussion or something. What? Another room? Ugh! I told them to notify me when they have the next meeting. Just like getting really dramatic with him, I'm sorry. I wonder if they're doing this on purpose so I wouldn't join. Yeah, we all do bad things on purpose so that you won't join, but you keep fucking showing up. Go away now. Bye. Bye, Felicia. That was why that term was invented, for you. Bye, Takeda. Takeda muttered to himself, and he went out of the common room. What was all that about? I bet you anything he wanted to be Ito's lackey, but Ito isn't giving him the time of day. Seems like Takeda doesn't really have much of a place for himself here as of late. After Harada said that, he suddenly got up. Well, I guess it's time. I'm off. Oh, what? You want to tag along? Probably not a good idea, kid. Those demons are still after you, right? I can't take you out on the streets at night. I suppose you're right. All the sitting around all day started to make me chafe. I wanted to help somehow, but Harada was right. If I went with him, I'd just end up getting in the way. Well, please be careful, okay, Harada? Sure thing. Thanks. That night, they struck, or tried to. 8 men from the Tosa domain challenged Harada and his division by trying to tear down the notice board. The fighting was furious but short. Harada managed to capture some of the perpetrators, although some of his captives later managed to escape. Harada and his division were honored by the Aizu domain for their service to the shogunate and were given a reward. When he was asked how the captured men had managed to escape, he simply replied, "It was too dark to get a good look," and said no more. This is the scene in the anime where they dress her up like a girl, and it's amazing. And because fucking Saito's like, maybe we should put fucking Yukamura in a goddamn female kimono and just see what she looks like. And they're like, yeah, woo! And it's just like, so Kimigiku, obviously they don't care that she knows because they're like, Kimigiku, dress her up like a girl. Dress this one up like a girl. And she's like, I'll do it. And you're like, she must be sitting there like, if she, obviously she's smart. She knows we're a chick. But like, let's say she didn't. She'd be like, you want to dress this boy up like a girl? You fuckers are weird. like Ito, you have some interesting tastes. She's like, hey, whatever floats your boats, dudes. I'm not gonna. Meanwhile, she's stroking Hijikata's face, like, you're so beautiful. Are you into boys too? I can be a boy. like, I don't know. But it actually looked really cool because, like Spacey, obviously it's not her name, but like she actually looked fucking adorable in a kimono. Like, not derpy face. Like, she actually looked cute. And you were like, oh my god, she looks so cute all dressed up in this glorious kimono and her face. It's adorable. Like, and of course she walked in, they're all like, oh, what? She looks like a chick. Oh. That's good. It's good. Anyway. Several days had passed. I accompanied the captains to a meal at Sumi. Well, I'll be damned. You really did it, Sano. And to think you want to use that reward money to treat us all as some good food. Well, if you're going to suck up, you might at least try and mention how he actually got that reward. I'll get to it. I'm just so touched that he's going to pay the bill. I think I might cry. Tonight's on Sano, guys. Drink as much as you want. Forget your problems. Hey, don't go nuts, all right? Thanks, Sano. I'm going to drink myself stupid. Not everyone here can drink, you know. There's more to do than drink, you know. Eat, for instance. Yeah, guess you're right. Hijikata, don't hold back. Drink all you want, okay? Oh, well, sake... What? Please don't tell me the commander of the Shinsengumi can't drink any alcohol. Damn you. You know what's up and you're doing this. It's so obvious. What? Why can't... I wasn't sure if it was all right of me as a woman to be joining them, but it was an incredibly rare opportunity for me to visit Shimabara. I guess I could enjoy the festivities while here. I mean, they invited you. Like, thank you for visiting. Geiji? Yeah. And a beautiful kimono stepped through to greet us with a smile that was both dazzling and demure. Her skin was as white as porcelain, with soft red highlights. Her lips looked soft and full, and her hair shone in the light like yards of fine silk. For a moment, I stared in awe of her beauty, my own sex forgotten. Something flickered in her eyes, but it was gone almost immediately. Then she smiled, and it was like watching a flower bloom. I am Kimigiku, and I will be entertaining you tonight. Please enjoy yourselves. The food will be arriving shortly. I'll be entertaining you. Whoa, Kimigiku, Jesus. Indeed it had, and once the food had arrived, the party truly began. Man, expensive sake is way different. It just goes down so smooth. You haven't even touched your food, Heisuke. If you drink on an empty stomach, you get drunk before you even have a chance to enjoy it. Whatever. You know how often I get booze this good? Never. Filling up on food would just be a waste of stomach space. You sound like a bum. Just drink up. Hey, just because you drink like there's a hole in your stomach doesn't mean the rest of us can. You having fun, Spacey? Doesn't look like you're drinking much. Oh, I can't drink, so I'm just enjoying the food. You can drink, you just choose not to. Unless you're like Okita and you're sick and you can't drink. There's a difference. I cannot drink, I choose not to drink. Girl, you're just choosing not to, which is probably a good idea when you're in a room full of drunk men. Just saying. They're actually probably more gentlemen than most people, though. So. Still, probably shouldn't drink in a room full of drunk men. Keep your wits about you, girl. All right. Well, make sure you eat a lot of it then. We're here to have a good time. So it'd be a damn shame if you didn't have fun. Thanks. Still, it was the first time I'd ever eaten anything expensive. Although, to be honest, I couldn't taste much of a difference. I've heard rumors that the men of the Shinsengumi were like demons or monsters. But from where I sit, you look a good deal more handsome than that. Almost like an actor. Don't touch my man, bitch! Yeah, I get that a lot. Kimigiku and Hijikata chatted easily while she poured him sake, looking almost too beautiful to be real, like they'd stepped out of a painting. Still can't believe they gave all this cash just for protecting a board. I mean, hell, imagine how much you would have got if you caught all of them. How did they get away, actually? You said there were only 8. That should have been pretty manageable. Yeah, what's up with that? No, I mean, you surrounded them, didn't you? How'd they get away? I know we're over time, but I was waiting for a good place to stop, and I didn't want to stop before we got, because it was we gotta go for a few minutes, but then there's, really no good place to stop, so anyway. And how'd the guys you actually caught escape? Harada fell silent, his face slipping into a frown. He stayed that way for a moment or two. Then looked inexplicably at me. Spacey, did you go anywhere that night? What? I hesitated, unsure of what he was getting at. No, I didn't go anywhere. Why? You're sure? You didn't go anywhere that night? Yes, I'm sure. I've never left the compounds alone. Ever. Hey, what's wrong? Maybe it was just a mistake. There wasn't a moon that night. It was dark. No, I saw her up close. There's no way I made a mistake. Harada? What are you talking about? Well, you see... After we'd surrounded the Tosa men who tried to take down the notice board, this girl showed up. She looked just like you, got in our way. Because of her, our whole formation fell apart. What? The whole room went silent. Harada just spoke above a whisper, but each of us could hear him perfectly. A girl who looked just like me? Well, like they say, shit happens. But tonight, Sano's paying, so let's drink till the sun comes up. It's a seconded! Time to find out just how much of the stuff I can handle! In just a few minutes, Heisuke and Nagakura had the party back in full swing, but I couldn't get my mind off what Harada had said. Then, what had he seen? I felt... We're felt perplexed, but we're going to make the choice on how we felt when we come back to the next part. So, Spacey's cock blocking you, stopping in an inappropriate space. So there you go. Because this scene's going to go on for a while, and I was just hoping there would be like a sort of decent transition where we could stop without stopping too early, but really wasn't. So anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.